Hi friends! I had this crazy idea for my retirement, which is way in the future, of kind of having a local brewery club. However, you kind of need to know how to brew beer before you have your own little, customized line and stuff. So might as well try that, right? So, join me on the journey of making our own beer.
This beer making kit we purchased 17 years ago and stuck away in our closet. It sat there being looked at every time we went for cereal or other stuff, but never accessed until today. So, finally, after languishing for so long, we have pulled it out and decided to make beer, or at least see if it still works after 17 years. Hopefully the yeast is still functional. We started making ginger ale. We still make ginger ale. We still never pulled out beer making kit. So now we're going to expand our horizons and try some beer at home.
Got your own little mini keg. I don't think we're going to be doing any keg stands on this thing. Beer making can be very, very complicated, but in short term, basically you have very clean water in a very clean container. You have flavoring of some sort. You have sugar of some sort, which I think is in one of these packs. I don't know, this is a pre-made kit, but when we make cider, it's just ginger that's in like a tea form, and we put sugar in there. And then the almighty, the big catalyst is brewing yeast. There's different types of yeast, some that are for beer. When we make cider, we use champagne yeast. And then we put it into a bucket and let it brew in warm conditions, and you test it out afterwards. Easy peasy, right?
It's going to be great.
So we're supposed to use 4 cups of ultra filtered water, which first you add in the booster, get that to a boil. Then you get the flavoring, and you mix that into here. And then we're going to take that water, pour it into there, make sure it gets cooler, and then because you don't want to kill the yeast, you add in the yeast, and then you mix it up and you let it sit for 7 days. All right, so we have our booster, which when we open it up turns into this big solid container. And we looked at the ingredients, and sure enough, it's corn syrup. So yeah, sugar. Sugar is one of the vital important ingredients into beer making. So we're going to add it into the water and get it dissolved. Now we had dissolved the packet of cornstarch into the cup. And so now we're on to the next phase where we will pour in the flavor, which is pale ale.
Okay. Pale ale flavoring going in. Seems to be really sticky and gooey. So.
What do you think, Danica?
I think it does not smell good.
Okay.
Ready to go.
So this is called the wort now, and in sticks. We're gonna pour it into our new keg.
We have 4 quarts of cold water ready to go. And we're adding in the hot wort.
No. Spill in.
Doesn't look like I'm spilling.
Spilled all over here.
Well, let's check the video afterwards.
You totally spilled.
This is the first process where it's just the flavoring, where it's going to be brewing in the flavoring. The carbonation will happen on phase 3. Phase 1 again was cleaning. Phase 2 was dissolving and making the flavor. And we'll be mixing in the yeast, and that's when we'll start getting a lot of the brewing and the alcohol fermentation. There we go. And then step 3 will be carbonation.
So yeast initially grew up in humans, so it likes 98 degrees. If you heat it up over 105 or so, it dies. So you really don't want to add it to anything that's too hot. Too cold, yeast will get by just fine, just a lot slower. So I just want to make sure 84 degrees.
I was thinking that way.
All right, which is fine. And now we're gonna sprinkle in yeast and let it sit on top for 5 minutes.
Yep. And then mix it up vigorously. So we'll do that.
All right, 17-year-old yeast. If the Egyptians can make beer and we can use that 3,000 years later, this stuff should work just fine after 17 years.
All right. All right, so it's been 7 days of letting the beer brew with the yeast, and it's supposed to be nice and clear and yummy. Well, actually, it's supposed to be dry, and then if it's too sweet, per the instructions, we got to let it brew for a little bit more. But it needs to be a little bit drier so that when we get the we start the carbonation process, which is the next step, then it becomes nice and sweet. Supposed to be clear. I suspect clarity means that you can see through it.
Taste it as well, and if it tastes like beer, flat beer, then you know it's good. If it's really sweet, then it's got a lot of sugar left in it, and it hasn't fermented all the sugar that it's already got into alcohol. That's pretty flat.
I thought it was pretty flat too.
I think this is the clarity that we're gonna get.
I mean, it is.
It's fermented all the way.
And it is beer, which is usually dark in color.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no chunks in it, so I think the clarity means that it's supposed to be like a
I don't know. Skip the clarity. Taste the sugar's low. This will be great.
all right.
Cheers. We have a recipe. We need 1 teaspoon of sugar, just white granulated sugar, in the bottle with the beer. Leave it alone for a certain period of time. The standard method is to leave it until the bottle blows up. I think we'll skip that method. And then we can drink it.
Yay!
The last of the no rinse cleaner out of the bottle. Just trying to get the last drops out of there. And
After we get each bottle filled with a teaspoon of sugar, because it makes the medicine go down, we'll put the brew, the stuff from the beer stein here, and we'll add it into each of the bottles. You shake it up and you wait for another 7 days apparently until it carbonates.
wait another week.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's get this production line loading.
All right, so we've got the sugar in here, and we're gonna fill up the bottle with the fermented beer to the base of the neck of the bottle, which is about 2.5 inches from the top.
Okay. I think it's going to be amazing beer. You want to try?
Okay.
And this beer goes. It's got a lot of great flavor.
Yeah.
It is time for us to test the bottled beer. We are going to open it up and see what we get, how much carbonation and what it looks like. Are you ready? What kind of noise?
Explode! Explode! Explode!
Let's listen. Uh-huh. I don't know. Didn't seem like there was any carbonation there. Let's see what happens here. Does it form? Oh my end. It didn't carbonate at all.
No way.
There's no carbonation.
What a letdown.
Wait a second. Alright, so I'm going to taste it. Yeah, absolutely no carbonation. It's just like the day it was when it went in. Yo. This is our second bottle. That one worked. Woo!
Nicely done.
All right.
All right, now do the taste test.
It's got to settle a little bit.
Go.
So we have the no rinse.
Austin Powers moment.
We have the no rinse bottles.